You don't get to be my age without having learned a lot of things. And today I'm going to be sharing with you 6 things that will make you so much more powerful, even though they're kind of strange. Stay with me, you'll get it. This is gonna be a quick one. In any case, welcome back to my channel. We are going to jump right into 6 things that are somewhat attractive that make you more powerful. The first one is people that walk away just as others are leaning in. Let me tell you what I mean. Have you ever been having a conversation with somebody who's like really interesting, like you like what they're having to say, and it's like just when the conversation is getting good, they're like, oh, okay, gotta go. And you're like wanting more. Obviously, you can't say that in the conversation, but you are wanting to speak more. Like you're just now like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And then you're just like, okay, gotta go. Those people. It's kind of weird when it happens, but that is such a power move. Like just when the conversation is good and that person is contributing to that conversation, heightening it, it's getting so interesting. You're like 2 wines in and that person just abruptly just is like, oh shit, I gotta go. I forgot I gotta go pick up the kids at work today. And they leave. And you feel their absence. Like you feel the energy shift in the room. That shit is powerful. Scarcity is powerful. Coming into any room, whether it is where you're hanging out with your girlfriends and contributing to that environment in a positive way, but then leaving, not waiting to when people are cleaning up, not waiting to when you're at the club and the lights go on, knowing when to make the exit. And the person who's the most powerful always makes the exit at the height of the fun, the height of when it's just getting started, when things are just going, and then they're just like, gotta go. Like that shit is powerful. It leaves you wanting to spend more time with that person. It leaves you wanting to like schedule another date just to hang out with that person. Do not overlook the strength that comes with scarcity. Know when to leave the party. That is number 1. Number 2. Stay quiet when other people expect you to get upset or to retaliate. This one is another powerful move. I use this all the time. Like if I'm at a restaurant or I'm somewhere where I'm not happy with the service, let's say, and I've just told the maitre d' or I told somebody, hey, I don't like this. Don't talk too much after that. You don't talk too much. The person who speaks the most, who over explains themselves in an argument is the one that to me is like the biggest loser. Like war of words is just that. Like only a fool gets involved in a war of words. The most powerful person in an argument is a person who doesn't say too much. Somebody just did something to you and they're expecting you to just retaliate and curse them out and say all this stuff. And you're just like, you're calm. It shows that you have control over your emotions. It shows that you are a thinker. It shows that you are not a person that can be easily influenced. Like somebody can't just come and just poke you and just force you to react. Like that's not you. You're always calm. You have control. That is a powerful move. So that is why whenever I'm complaining about something or I'm like making a return, like I've seen people just at the department store making a return and like, oh my gosh, yeah, it was so small. When I had tried to put it on, it didn't fit. And I'm usually a 14, 16. I don't know why I fit. That's too much talking, sis. I'm here to return this item. Anything wrong with it? Not really. When you start over explaining yourself, it almost comes across as if you're lying, you're unsure, you've lost power. The person who says the least amount of words in a situation that could be considered confrontational is the one who holds the power. And when you see this in action, I'm telling you, it's such a cool ass move. It's such a cool ass move. Let other people wait. My husband manages like 50 people. He manages like 50 plus people at his company, and he is the king of this. Like if you ask him a question, he's not going to be quick to just give you an answer. He is very big on, he'll pause. still think about it. I don't think so. And the reason I feel, and I'm just like when he first did it on like when we were like out on a date or something like that. I think that was like the first time I saw him do it. At first I was like, but now I mimic that so much. It is a powerful move. It goes into that not retaliating, showing people that you are in control of your thoughts, your emotions, and it shows people that you're not a person who's just like, when you're opening your mouth, there's with thought. You're not just opening up your mouth to ramble. So like when you are contributing to a conversation and people see you open up your mouth, it's like, okay, this is going to be good. This is a thoughtful conversation that's going to take place. And that holds so much power, because I feel like when you're having a conversation with people, people tend to just talk quick. Everything just happens quick. Like, oh, did you see that show? Oh my gosh, yeah, I saw that on TikTok, and da 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 da. It becomes noise. It becomes a lot of noise. When you ask somebody a question and they pause, especially in a society where our attention span is like, what, 2 seconds, we can actually look at something. When something pauses, when you're expecting something to happen, you're like, not computing, what's going on here, what's going on here? Why did he pause? Is he gonna talk? Why did he pause? Such a powerful move. Pause before you answer somebody's question. If you're at a job interview and they ask you, what was a time that you faced one of your biggest obstacles and how did you deal with that? Even though you may have rehearsed a question like that so many times, you may be ready. Pause. Take control over the room. Control over your feelings. How do I feel? Okay, I'm about to answer this. Like, pause. Force them to wait on you. It shows strength. It shows power. Let yourself be wrong. Like, the person who can be wrong is somebody that is so admirable, especially if you hold them at such high regard, as opposed to the person who's like always right. Even when they're wrong and you know they're wrong, they're going to sit there and defend why they're wrong is right. Yeah, don't be that person. Like, I watched a situation, so I have not been watching Basketball Wives, have not been watching it at all. But there is this situation that's going on with one of the cast members and her daughter, and the girl like literally hits her mom. Long story short, her name is Chantel, and she hit her mom, Jackie. And she goes on this show with this, like, I don't know what he is, like an interviewer. His name is like Carlos something, and he like interviews people in that realm. And she does an interview. It's like her first interview after the altercation with her mom. Mind you, everybody on social media is like coming at her ass. Like, everybody is like, you know, you screwed up, you hit your mom, you're an awful person. And she comes on this, like, this is like a month after everything happened. And it's an opportunity for her to say, yeah, you know, I kind of screwed up. I shouldn't have hit my mom. You know, I kind of let the situation get the best of me. I was in a moment where I was really sensitive. I was feeling all of this, and I just reacted in a way today. In hindsight, I would not react. Like, there would have been so much power in that statement. Instead, she doubled down. She stuck her 10 toes further in the sand, and she was just like, she caused it. She provoked me, and everyone's looking at her like, girl, no, this is not the move. This is not the move. Know when you're wrong, and do not be afraid to admit it. The person who can say, oh, shoot, you're right about that. Oh, I messed up. Darn. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. It's so powerful because it shows that even when you're wrong, you're not uncertain about that. Remember how I told you, like, you just have that confidence. So even in your wrongs, there's still some confidence there. There's still some, oh yeah, I was wrong. Okay. It makes the other people around you trust you more because they know that you hold yourself accountable and that there's a certain standard that you hold yourself to, and they too will hold you to that standard. So don't be afraid to be wrong. Like, everyone always wants to be right. And, you know, like, if you ever seen even those people, like when celebrities screw up all the time, the ones who are able to ride the PR crisis are the ones who usually issue out an apology. They come out with an apology and they're just like, yeah, you know, I kind of messed up. I apologize to anybody I hurt in that situation. I'm working to, you know, really get my facts together and educate myself on this. And guess what? They're able to live the cancel culture. They're able to just win favor with the people who liked them and the people who didn't like them, because there's so much strength in saying, I fucked up. I fucked up. Because guess what? We all fuck up. We all fuck up sometime. Nobody is exempt to that. We all know that. So when you see somebody never fucking up or never admitting that they're fucking up, it's not even truthful to you, because you know in real life, in the real world, we fuck up. Call a spade, honey. Point out the elephant in the room. Call a spade a spade. I was huge on this when I used to work in the corporate sector. As most of you guys know, I used to work in insurance. I used to be a corporate girly. I used to be that person who was sitting in meetings, and that person was probably denying your bodily injury claim. Sorry about that. But there's strength and power in somebody that can point out what others are afraid to point out, right? I remember I was in an insurance meeting. We would have like these roundtable discussions like every month. People weren't closing claims and they were trying to leave. It's gonna not make sense to you. It might make sense to some of you guys. People were not trying to close their files or close their claims until next year. It was like December, and the department heads were like, look, we need to close more files. Why are people closing more files? I knew why people weren't closing more files, and they knew too why people weren't closing more files. People weren't closing the files because closing the file would screw up your reserves. And it was December, and all of us try not to close up files in December because our bonuses. In the insurance world, unfortunately, a big way that they determine your bonus is like how much money you're saving the company. What's the average payout that you're doing on your claims? I used to work in the bodily injury department, so a big part of my annual bonus was fixated on this. And a lot of us were in the room, and the supervisors are there. They're like, look, we need to close more files because it's not like the numbers are completely being thrown off. And everyone is sitting there and they're just like, you know, what's going on? And everyone's like, well, you know, it's been slow, and you know, we've been looking and it's hard, and I'm trying to close claims. And I said, because we don't want our bonuses to be messed up. Everybody like looked at me and they were like the people who were like on my team looked at me, and like the people who knew like all the adjusters, they like looked and they were like, there was such a respect in their eyes for what I said. And even the supervisors and the management who was there was just like, because they knew, let's be real, this is all a song and dance when it comes to the corporate world. Nothing is new in the corporate world. You literally can copy and paste the same playbook and apply it to any corporate setting, and the same rules will apply. The same games are played. Nothing changes. So everyone's just like, oh, she said it. I was never afraid to like not address the elephant in the room. When I said it, what started to happen, the supervisors had to address the issue. Number one, they had to say, look, we know that, you know, that what she's saying, there's truth to what she's saying, but we want you guys to know that in spite of that, we really still do need files to be closed. We are asking for a mandatory X amount of number of files to be closed by the end of this week. Like, they had to address it. And not only did it garner so much respect for me amongst my management and my peers, but whenever I would come to a meeting, I wouldn't say too much. But when I did, like, people knew, like, one, when she opens her mouth, there's going to be something valuable. We need to write this shit down. And two, she's not afraid to state the obvious. So when management would call me into a meeting and saying, what's going on with this here? They knew if they asked me, they were going to get the answer. There's something very powerful about being the Trump person in a group. As much as I'm not going to go into politics, This is not the forum for that. But there's something that is still very powerful being the person who's not afraid to call things out as you see it. Like, you're not trying to sugarcoat shit. You're not trying to make shit sound better than what it is. You're just like, yeah, you know, you were really mean to that girl. I saw how you treated her. You made her cry. Like, who raised you? There's something powerful about that person who's not afraid to call things out, especially in a world, I feel like, where we tiptoe. Everything has to be so politically correct. Everyone is so sensitive. If you say this, you're going to offend this group. But if you say that, you're going to offend that group. Whenever somebody cuts through that noise and they say it exactly how they see it, that person's a badass motherfucker. Like, that person is somebody I want to speak to. That's a person, if I'm ever going through something, I want their opinion, because they're not going to sugarcoat it. They're not trying to spare my feelings. They get straight to the point, and they're very objective in how they look at things. Like, they understand the importance sometimes, if not most times, being objective. Let awkward moments be awkward. Just let them be awkward. I feel like we live in a world where everyone's always trying to control the outcome. They're always trying to control the perception. They're always trying to control the environment. Let awkward moments be awkward. What do I mean by that? I was in an elevator, go back to a corporate world. There was a time where I have a lot of people in the corporate world I really don't like, and they didn't like me either. Like, make no mistake. Like, being powerful and using the things that I'm telling you, like, those things don't come without challenges. Whenever you're somebody who exemplifies strength, there's going to be somebody that doesn't like that. Why? Because they are feeling like, wait a minute, like, are you feeling more superior than me? They don't like it. People don't like it. Like, when you exemplify strength, people are not going to like it. You are going to be met with some resistance. And I remember getting in an elevator with this girl. I freaking hated this bitch. Her name was Leanna. I used to work with her in insurance. Like, if you ever come across her and she's still in insurance, freaking run. That girl was like a bitch. Let me just tell you. So I got in the elevator with her, and it was just like, and it was somebody else too. Now, this person was cool with both of us. They got in the elevator, and I've noticed that when people get in awkward situations, they try to fill the silence, or they try to talk a lot. They do like really nervous laughs and stuff like that. I got in the elevator, and the guy was just like, oh, so you guys have any plans for Friday? Mind you, I never talked to this bitch. And he was like, do you guys have any plans for Friday? And she is just like, yeah, I'm gonna go out with my friends. And he's like trying to include me in the conversation. And I'm just like looking at him, and I'm just answering the question. I'm like, yeah, I'm going out on Friday. Like, he's trying to make it where the three of us end up talking. Why? I don't know, because everybody in the department knew I wasn't feeling this bitch. I was okay with the awkwardness. It looked weird because he was trying to do the song and dance. It was weird because she was trying to do the song and dance. I felt I had the most power in the room because I was okay with it being awkward. Like, I was okay not speaking to this person. Like, if you walk into a situation, let's say both of you guys are in the waiting room and it's somebody that you really don't like, you don't have to try to fill the air to make the situation a little less awkward or make it less awkward for the people around you. You don't owe anybody anything. I think that is another sign of strength, is when you are comfortable in who you are and you're comfortable in the fact that I don't owe anybody shit. I don't owe anybody shit. If I give you a dookie, I'm doing you a favor. Like, legit. I don't owe anybody anything. And I think the older I've gotten, I am of a couple of decades now. The older I get, the more I realize I don't owe anybody shit. Like, the only people who I really give a shit, really, their opinions on me matter, their happiness literally affects me, is probably I could think of 4 people off the top of my head. Okay, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 people off the top of my head. I can think of 7 people in my life who I feel like I care how they think about me. If I offend them, it bothers me. Like, obviously, like my parents, and I'm not going to go through naming all the people, but like my parents, obviously my mom, my dad, my husband, who's me, obviously my daughter, and there's like 3 other people. So that should do the math right there. Everybody else, I could give 2 shits. Like, if you like me, that's great. Let's kumbaya, let's eat, let's laugh. But if you don't like me and you're not part of that 7 people and you have issues with how I do things, my attitude, how I go about things, it sucks to be you. Because when you have strength, when you have power, when you are certain of who you are as a person, you are okay with awkward moments being awkward around people. You're okay with that. Like, you're not trying to fill the void. You go, the best sentence I heard, or the best saying I heard once, was on social media. The quote goes something like this, and don't quote me on it, but the quote goes, I used to walk into a room and wonder if they liked me. Now, when I walk into a room, I look around and wonder, do I fucking like them? Literally, that's the shit that I'm on. Like, when you are powerful, that is how you walk into a room. Like, you don't give a fuck who likes you, who messes with you. They're not giving you no money. Their opinions are just that, fucking opinions that you can't take to the freaking bank, that can't do shit for you. Who cares? Let awkward moments be awkward. That's all. That is all that I have for you guys today. Let me know in the comment section if I missed anything that should be added to this list. What are some powerful moves that you do in your everyday life? I know that there's so much more that I haven't touched upon, so make sure you add them to the comment section. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm still looking for titles and ideas of what to talk about on this YouTube channel. So let me know. Let me know. I love spending this time with you guys. I hope you guys found this information valuable. I will see you next time. Bye.